Citoyens, permettez-moi de vous rappeler l'intérêt suprême de la nation. Sans sécurité. Qu'est-ce que c'est que votre attention à lui? Il n'est pas soit peur and vengeance indigne de la nation. C'est la nécessité de renforcer la liberté publique et la tranquillité à travers la permission d'un tyran. Toute forme de jugement, n'importe quel système en regarde. Ce qui promet la tranquillité publique est une opposition directement de vos objectifs. C'était mieux vu, vous avez simplement négligé pour le punir que sans procès les cabrons, nos ennemis et kindles civils de la guerre. Citizens! Let call ye back into supreme interest of the nation. Is safety. What is it that demands your attention daily? Nay, it is not test for vengeance unworthy of the nation. It is the need to strengthen public liberty and tranquility to punishment of tyrants. Any manner of judgment, any system of delays which compromise public security is in direct opposition to your aim, and it were better you had simply neglected to punish him, than that his trial I feel pour out troubles and kindle civil war. La procédure tient son fin d'inventaire prévu. L'accusé a déclaré qu'il n'a rien pu dire sa défense. Pour sa défense, il a reconnu que toute la procédure qu'il n'avait violée avait été tuée. Avait été effectué. Elle a déclaré qu'elle ne demandait à aucun État. Le moment que le justifié est encore proche dans nos oreilles. Dans nos oreilles, c'est le plus favorable à sa cause. À sa cause, il n'y a qu'un tribunal de terre qui n'adopte par un tel système avec une claire conscience un malheureux. Citizens, each instant of delay brings us a new danger. All delay awakens guilty. Awaken guilty of the embolden the enemy of liberty. Our liberty, they carry dark defiance and clear suspicion in midst of this assembly, citizens. Qui ont faire et burden the enemy of the liberty. They encourage a dark defense and carry suspicion in the midst of this assembly. This assembly sits on the voice of the salam and exchanges you to hasten your decision, which is to issue each. What scruple yet fetters your zeal? I can find a motive neither in the principles of the friends of humanity, These are the friends of humanity, 9 those of the philosopher, 9 those of the statesman, now stating now even those of the most subtle and profound casuist. That procedure which is finished does, Thursday before yesterday, the day before yesterday, the accused declared to you that he had nothing further to say in his defense. In his defense, he recognized he has had all the procedure. He had to say that it had been carried out. Had to be carried, it had been declared he would act and no other. He'd act no other. The moment of his justification is still fresh. He told our ear is the most favorable to his cause. Our ear is favorable to his cause. This is no tribunal on earth which does not adopt such system without clear conscience. An unhappy man. Unhappy man. The procedure has reached its finished stage. The day before yesterday, the accused declared to you he had nothing further to say in his defense. He acknowledged that all procedure this year had been carried out. He declared he would ask neither. The moment when his justification is still fresh in our ear is the most favorable to his cause. There is no tribunal on earth which adopts such a system as a clear conscience. An unhappy man, taken in France and simply accused of an ordinary crime, with proof 1,000 times as striking, would have been condemned within 24 years. To delay your judgment, you have heard nothing but the honor of the nation, the dignity of the assembly. The honor of nations consisted of being free in the virtues, in speaking conscience and avenging real humanity. The glory of the National Convention consists in displaying a great character and sacrifice and the severe prejudice of the sublime principles of reason and philosophy. It consists in saving the nation and strengthening public liberty and by offering great examples before the world. I can see its dignity reduced as we forget the vigor of republican maxims, as we are lost in the maze of useless and ridiculous chicanery. And as the speakers before this assembly, cause the nation to embark once again on the course of monarchy. Posterity will admire and despise you. Despise you according to the great vigor you show on this occasion. And that vigor will be measured to one of thousands in the prayer sale which the foreign despot treat you. It will be the wages of our servitude and our liberty, of our prosperity or of our misery. Citizens, victory will decide you are the rebels or benefactors of humanity, and the greatness of your character will decide victory. Citizens to betray the cause of the people. The cause of the people and their own conscience to deliver the nation to all the disorder slaves of trial must awaken. That is the only thing we have to hear. It is time to leap over the fatal obstacle which has so long guarded our course. then doubtless we will march together forward in their common aim, public felicity. Then the hateful passion is a matter too often, and the sanctity of liberty will yield to love of public affair and to the holy evacuation by its malfeasance, emulating friends of the land, and all the plots of enemies of public order will be confounded. But how far we still are from this goal? How far are we, if that strange opinion was that first we could hardly ever dare imagine, which then we suspected to finally in response proposed openly. As for me, from that moment I thought the confirmation of all my suspicions and my fears. At first we seemed to be trapped by the consequence of delays in the progress this affair might bring. Now is rendering interminable and the rest of the moment of delay might bring. And here we are guaranteed to overthrow the Republic. Why, all the mad eyesight that the fatal plot are hidden beneath the veil of prudence, even beneath the veil of the respect of the sovereignty of the people. Such was the art of the times, the mask of the patriotism, who have until now assassinated liberty, and been the cause of all our ill. These are not sophistical declamations, but results that you must say, says I openly. Say that I no longer see tyrant as tyranny as anything but a means to bring us back to the despotism. The despotism is by way of anarchy. Citizens, that is all I call you to witness. I call you to witness the first time there is any discussion of the trial of Louis, the last in the National Convention called expressly to judge him. When you left your department and the freedom and the love of the liberty, filled with that jealous sincerity with the recent proof and the confiance of the Maximilien people, inspiring you. No foreign influence had changed, nay, at first when the question of opening this affair arose. Suppose someone had said to you, you think you will have it done with a trial of chance in a week or 2 weeks or 3 months. But you are mistaken, you have not who will pronounce the sentence. Who will judge him in the end? Who will judge? I hereby propose that you send this affair to 30,000 people, sections into the front is divided so that there may be pronounced. Those 20,000 sections are less than people, and you will adopt this proposal. You would have laughed at the appearance of a man making a motion. You would have rejected such a motion as incendiary, designed to kindle even civil war. What is there to say? War. Assured that tempers have changed such is the influence of a plague-ridden atmosphere among many some members that the smile most natural, simple ideas is often stifled by the most dangerous sophisms. Today, I admit, no one would have admitted so as Louis. As though Louis, we are still too close to the length of August, too close to the 10th of August, as the day when monarchy was abolished. But we are asked to adjourn the end of the trial at the time when the palm powers are about to descend upon us, and to allow him the thought of a civil war. Today no one would seek to declare him inviolable, but only assure that he remain unpunished, that seek not to establish him on the throne, but merely to await events today. Louis has this advantage over the defenders of liberty, that they are pursued. That they are pursued with more vigor than is he. No. No. No one can doubt that we are now slandered with more care and more cost than the July 1791. And certainly the Jacobins are not more disparaged than the Constituency Assembly. This Constituent Assembly then that they are now in this body. Then we see were the factious men. Factious men, today we are the agitator and the anarchist. Then Lafayette and his accomplices neglect to have us murdered. We must hope for the same clemency of his successor. Those great friends of peace, those famous defenders of the law have since been declared a traitor, but we gain nothing from that. While their house friends, several members of their majority are here to avenge them, persecuting us. But there is a fact which no one has mentioned, and which is nonetheless worthy of the public curiosity. After prepared to pamphlet distributed according to the custom of these members' custom. The custody and the custody of these members' custom. The custody of these members, by which the speaker who proposed the elaboration of the such art of the meeting of the speaking and taking the question of lay to be primary assembly, speaking in discourse with the music declamation against the patriotism is precisely the same man as in the Constituent Assembly gave him the voice of the dominant cabal to define the doctrine of the absolute inviolability, and to vow the prescription of having the absolute inviolability, and to vow our prescription for having dared to defend the principles of liberty. In a way, what you write, it is the same man who, as it must be said, 2 days after the massacre of Toulon, there proposed a decree which should have established the communism to judge without appeal, as quickly as possible. The patriot has escaped assassin's thoughts. I do not know if since then the ardent friends of liberty still today press for the condemnation of Louis have become monarchists. But I utterly doubt that the men who speak of whom I speak have changed their principles. It has been demonstrated to my satisfaction only under slightly different circumstances. The same passions, the same this, and the irresistible towards the same end. Then it gave us an ephemeral and vicious constitution. Today intrigue prevents us from writing a new one, and lead us toward the dissolution of this state. What is sure? What is sure? What is sure? What is sure is whatever is the result of this fatal measure, it must be the advantage of their view to promote civil war The resolution need not war even be executed completely. They trust to the unrest which is created within us by the stormy and endless deliberation. Those who do not wish to see Louis fall beneath the sword of the law will not be sorry to see him sacrificed by a popular disturbance. They will neglect nothing in their attempt to provoke one. Unhappy people, your very virtue used to lead you to your ruin. To lead you to your ruin, the masterpiece of tyranny is to provoke you your just indignation. And later you'll make crime not only of the indiscreet steps of which it put you, but took the very sin of the discontent which escaped you. Thus the perfidious court with the aid of Lafayette will do you at the altar of the nation as to snare where it will murder you. Yet alas, the many strangers who crowd within your walls, unknown to the authority of the very emissaries of your foe, attend the life of the fatal practice of your deliberations. The final fatal practice of your deliberations, even that would be imputed to you. Then they would raise the citizens of the other part of the public against you. They would arm all France against you if possible. The recompense for having saved the France. Generous people, you serve the cause of humanity too well to be held in this sun from the eyes of authorities. Tyranny is here, innocent. How instant! They would soon snatch us from your view to consummate the detestable plan of peace. And farewell, we leave you decay, misery and war, and destruction of the republic. Do you question this plan? That you have never reflected on the system of defamation records and the myth before your legislature? You do not know the history of a certain stormy session. The man who told you yesterday that we are progressing toward the dissolution of the National Convention of Clermont, spoke of the truth. Do you need proof other than the discussion itself? What other object does it now seem to have? But to strengthen all sinister fears which slander implanted, to poison with spirits, but perfidious insinuation to fan the fires of hate and discord. Is it not evident that this is the trial of the Louis XVI, and neither the staunchest defenders of the liberty? Is it against the tyranny of the Louis XVI that we revolt? No. It is against the tyranny of a small number of the priests and the patriots. The plots of the nobility said, no. It is the ambition of I know not what is diffused. At disputes of people stand ready to take the place of the aristocrat. The tyrant is to be preserved to furnish opposition to a few important patriots. Perfidious men control public power and the state treasury, and they accuse us of despotism. Despotism! There is no Hamlet. No, in the Republic, where we have not been slandered with an honor and imprudence. The treasury is empty. to corrupt the public with a storm of pamphlet. A storm of pamphlet there inspired public faith in the post of holy law, to violate the privacy and the mayor to stop their patriotic dispatches. Dispatches to stifle the vice and liberty and truth of outrage innocence, and they complain of slander. They despoil us all, even to our suffrage. And they denounce us as tyrants. They represent us as a momentary cries of repressed patriotism, overwhelmed by perfidy, and they will assist fill this sanctuary with the cries of vengeance and the fury. A fury, lest doubt there is a plot to degrade the convention and perhaps to cause its dissolution as a result of this interminable question. This interminable question, this plot is not found among those. It's not found among those. It's not who seek energetically the principles of liberty, not among the people who have sacrificed everything to it. Everything, not in the majority of the National Convention. It seeks the good and the true. No, see that among those is the hued are the dupes of intrigue. Dupes of intrigue and the pliant instruments of foreign passion. This plot ties among the score of rascals who had their aim. Who had their aim among the whole silence here, the greatest concern of the nation, First state above all from announcing an opinion on the custom of the last king. Custom of the last king. But whose silent and pernicious activity causes all the ill, which cabalars and prepares all who await us. How can we escape this abyss? This abyss is not about returning to our principles. And two is the source of our evil. What peace can exist between the oppressed and the oppressor? What concord can reign where even the freedom and the lot is not respected? Any violation of such freedom is an attempt on our nation, and a representative of the people does not permit himself to be stripped of the right to defend the interests of the people. No power can take the sky from him without taking his life as well. As well, always thou who suffer, here continued the story. To control deliberation, concede the art of dividing of the assembly into majority and minority, a new means to insult and silence those who are designated as the latter. The latter I do not recognize majority and minority here. That here the majority is composed of the good citizens. It is a permanent, since it belongs to no party. At each free deliberation it is renewed, since it belongs to the public cause and to eternal reason. A reason as when the assembly recognize an error, defeat the surprise of hate and of intrigue which sometimes happens, then the minority become the majority. They generally not formed in the weakest of secret conventicles or around the tables of the ministers. The minority retains an inalienable right to make heard the truth, the voice of truth, and what it regards as such virtue. Virtue is always in the minority in this earth. Without these, the footsteps of the earth be peopled by tyrants and Aberdeen and Sydney were of the minority, for they died on the scaffold. Critias, Eines, Caesar, Claudius were all of the majority, but Socrates belonged to the minority, for he swallowed in hemlock. Kalo was of the minority, for he tore out his bowels. I know how many who will, if need be, serve liberty in the battle at Sydney. Sydney, who were only 50, who had 50. This thought alone was dead. She was still at faces and figures who was wished to come to mislead the majority. Until that time, I ask at least that priority be given to the Europe. Let us unite and save the nation and let the deliberation assume at last the character more worthy of us and of the cause which we have defined. Let us at least banish the deplorable incident which do thus dishonour. Let us not spend my time in self-persecution and what's been needed to judge Louis. And let us know how to gauge the subject which disquiets us. Everything seems to conspire against the public welfare. The nature of our debate agitates and embitters public opinions and unhappily that opinion react against us. There's mistrust and representatives seem to have gone with the city's own alarm. A proposal which we ought to calmly irritate us, malevolence, daily exaggerate, imagines or create tale whose aim is to strengthen prejudice, and the smallest causes can lead us to the most terrible effect. The mere expression sometimes terminates of the feeling of the public which should be to control becomes the pretext for most dangerous measures of the precipitations of which more threaten their principle. People, spare us at this disgrace, keep your applause for the day when we have passed on one law that is used to humanity. Do you not see that you give them the pretext to slander and cause a which we defend? Rather than the elite of F.Ray and turn your back on the spectacle of which our debate, remember the rebellion which I ended lately held as an insurmountable barrier found in the fatal dwelling of our tyrant then still on the throne. Remember that order has been granted and far beyond it, without bayonet. By the black-jacket people alone, far from your eye, we will not struggle to your lesser liberty. You alone must now defend your cause. Your cause, where the last of your defenders perished. They defend them in your wish, and they take no charge of making liberty triumph. Citizen, whoever you are, set up a watch around the temple, arrest if it is necessary perfidious malevolence and deceive patriotism and confound the plot of our enemies. Faithful! Was it not enough that despotism as a tyrant reigned so long upon this mortal city must his very safekeeping be new calamity for it? Is a trial of the eternal, for the perpetuation means the slaughter of people who took him from the start? I have proven the principle of a proposal to submit the question of Louis to the Premier Assembly. Assemblage related to the civil war. I have proven that the proposal to submit the question of Louis to the Premier Assembly would lead to civil war if I cannot contribute to the salvation of my country. I wish at least to be recorded at this moment for the attempts I have made to warn you of the calamities which threaten it. I ask the National Convention declare Louis guilty or worthy of the death. worthy of death.